Namn?
Elvira.
Von? Von? Von?
Hon är min styvsyster.
You're listening to Scotty and Andrew, and this is Fun with Horror.
Hello, friends with horror. It's me, Andrew.
And it's me, the Ugly Scotty.
No, you're not. You're beautiful, Scotty. You're beautiful. And welcome, everyone, to episode 181 of Fun with Horror. We are the most wholesome horror movie podcast in the whole world. We do this for you and for us because we love you. What do we do, though? We're two best friends. We keep in touch by giving each other horror movies to watch, and then we discuss for everyone around.
That's right. And last episode, it was my choice, my ugly choice. And I chose 2025's The Ugly Stepsister, or Den Stygge Testosteron.
That's right. Very good.
But of course, stay tuned until the end of this episode, where we're all going to learn what Andrew is choosing for our next movie. But until then, hello, my beautiful boy.
Hi, my also beautiful boy. We're both beautiful.
I'm the Ugly Step podcast host.
You knock that off. You knock it off.
How are you, buddy?
I'm all right, man. I'm getting over being sick. How you doing?
Again?
Yeah, always. I got kids.
Yeah, but one of your kids isn't sick all the time, is she?
Yeah. She
Really?
is. Yeah.
Oh, I blame the littlest one for everything.
They go to school and schools are just cesspools of germs. It's disgusting.
Well, buddy, this is not sponsored in any way.
Right,
But
yes.
you have something coming in the mail today.
Yes.
When I was sick last week, I had a cold.
Mm-hmm.
I have no kids, but I still got a cold.
I'm sorry.
It was a nose cold, and a friend of mine said, get this wellness formula. A lot of you out there listening probably know exactly what I'm talking about, but I didn't. I bought these capsules. I took them all day last Sunday, I believe. The next day, I woke up, and it was like it was a dream.
Nice.
I could feel just very faint remnants of the cold, but otherwise, those capsules, like, obliterated it.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So wellness formula, friends.
See, and I'm with you. I hadn't heard of them until you sent me the text about them, so they're new to me too. I don't know them.
They don't smell good.
Hey, the best medicine never does.
Right.
I know.
But hey, buddy, so here's what I want to do.
Yeah.
We've got our comments, we got our Spotify comments, and anybody who listened to our last episode with you and me, not our Friday the 13th episode, but the what did we do? Predator Badlands.
Yes.
We're going to start reading comments if we have enough of them. We're going to start reading them at the end of the episode so that we can get to the movie quicker. However, this week, one of our newer friends, William Christensen, sent us some questions.
Yeah.
And I thought this would be fun to read. So, William said, I loved listening to that podcast. And by that podcast, he meant Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood.
Awesome.
He said, I have some horror movie questions for you, if that's okay. William, that is more than okay.
It's always okay. Yeah.
So he's got 5 questions here, and I thought we could answer them live on the podcast, Andrew. So I'm going to start with the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And now, this is a weird one, though. What is your top 5 favorite versions of Jason Voorhees?
It's a good question. So I think I got to go with the reboot version because I really like that version. I would say 2 is a pretty cool version just because of look-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to jump to... I mean, honestly, my last three I'm kind of going to put together. It's a kind of a cheat. But I do love when Jason gets kind of zombified, if you will. So I think like 7 and 8, or 6, 7, 8, I guess. Or no, 7, 8 and space maybe, or X, where you see the bones like as well as all the muscle, where he's kind of, like I said, zombified. He looks like a zombie, and I love those. I love that style. I love that look. So it's kind of a cheat, but I feel like it kind of works.
There you go.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to throw a little wrench in the socket, or whatever the phrase is.
That sounds right.
Because I've been doing these episodes, these Friday the 13th episodes with Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize how amazing Jason in Friday the 13th Part 7 is. And it is mainly because Kane Hodder started playing Jason in 7.
Yeah, dude.
And Kane Hodder has just this presence. So I'm going to go with 7 as my favorite.
Nice.
Then I'm going to also go with the remake Jason because he's the scariest.
Yeah.
After that, I'm probably going to go with Jason X.
Yeah, good one.
Because come on,
Yeah.
Space Jason. Then I'll probably go with number 2, Friday the 13th Part 2, Sackhead Jason.
Yeah.
And man, I think for the last one, I probably would have to go with Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives.
Hey, good one. I like that too. That's a great one.
That was the first one after he's electrified and brought back from the dead. So
Yeah, man.
there we go.
That's a great choice. Good one. Question number 2.
Oh, yes.
If there's a horror movie you wanted to rewatch, which one would it be?
This is a tough question because usually I do rewatch horror movies.
Right.
But I'm going to go with, this is going to make a little bit of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let you think about it because I don't want you to just piggyback off me, buddy.
Yeah, I probably already will, but go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to go out. I have a bunch of Blu-rays.
Right.
And a bunch of them are horror movies that have come out on 4K or what have you that I've been looking forward to rewatching.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a good movie, I don't think. I think this is a pretty bad movie, but one that I bought a couple years ago and I still have yet to sit down and rewatch is Rawhead Rex.
Whoa, okay.
It's a Clive Barker movie based on one of his stories.
Huh.
A lot of people will tell you that it's not a bad movie, but the creature design is pretty horrible. It's very stiff, but I can't wait to watch that movie again.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to rewatching that. What about you, buddy?
You know, I'm going to go with Rawhead Rex. It's Clive Barker. No. Ain't I a stinker? No, I you know what one is one I actually haven't rewatched in a very long time, and it's been on my list for a while, is Curse of Chucky. I love the Chucky movies, and that one was kind of a, I don't know, reboot's not the right word, but it brought Chucky kind of back, into the spotlight.
I think reboot is a great word.
Is that where? Okay, maybe that's the right word then.
Yeah.
But I think I only watched it once, and I really liked it. But I've watched the show since, and obviously I've done some of the old ones again. But I got to rewatch that again. So that's one it's been on my list for a while to rewatch.
See, now my first answer was going to be Tourist Trap because I have the Umbrella special edition of that, and I'm looking forward to digging into that.
Awesome.
Which, by the way, our friend Justin Beam did a bunch of the bonus features on.
So cool. That's really cool.
But anyway, question number 3. This is a good one because we're going to have differing answers. What is your opinion on Nika figures?
I'm surprised that we're going to have different answers, I guess. Interesting. I actually really like them. I think they're really detailed figures. I have a few of them. But yeah, I think they're really cool. And there's different types as well. I mean, there's their figures, and then they also have like the Toonie Terrors, which are really fun. If you're listening to this podcast, then you like horror, and those are pretty fun. But yeah, I like them. What are your thoughts, buddy? I'm curious now.
Well, I'm very picky when it comes to action figures.
Yes.
I like certain types, and then I get kind of obsessed with those action figures. I appreciate Nika figures. I like them for the horror community because they put out figures that a lot of people love. And if somebody bought me a Nika figure, I would be ecstatic about it.
Nice.
But I don't go out searching them. They're not my favorite. I don't know. It's weird because I don't dislike them.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not for me.
Sure.
I don't know. There's a lot of little pieces to each one. I love to go to a store. Let's just put it that way. I love to go to a store and say, oh, look at that. That's really cool. Look at this Nika figure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's the hinged elbows and stuff like that I don't love. But then I love Super 7 reaction figures. I love those.
Mm-hmm.
And those are like, I don't know. The reason I love those is because of nostalgia, though, because they remind me of the Star Wars figures I grew up collecting. But they have a whole bunch of licenses, so you can go buy the Wu-Tang Clan action figures if you want. So awesome. I appreciate Nika figures. I don't buy them for myself.
All right. That's fair. That's a fair answer.
Yeah.
Question number 4. I'm going to preface this with, this is a little bit of a spoiler for the original Scream movie. So if you've not seen that, just heads up, I'm going to spoil it a little bit. But question 4 is, do you believe that Stu is alive after the events of Scream?
Well, for me, I think Scream 1 is a fantastic movie. Mm-hmm. I never really thought about it. I haven't gone into the theories and whatnot. I have no idea what happens in Scream 7,
right?
The new one, but I always thought that Stu was dead, but I don't know. What about you?
You know, I have gone into the theories, and same with you. I have no clue about Scream 7, but I do like the theory. I mean, people have kind of said, yeah, he's alive because a TV falls on him, and he's probably fine. And so I like that idea because I like Matthew Lillard. So I like the idea that he could show up again. But so sure, yeah, I'm gonna say he's alive. He's out there plotting his revenge.
Then that means one of us is correct.
That's true. And in another reality, one of us is wrong. That same person is wrong.
Oh, damn. My mind is blown. Question number 5.
Yeah.
This is fun. Who would win in a fight? All the Scream killers versus Jason Voorhees.
I mean, we've seen Jason fight regular humans. That's what he does for the most part. And Scream, technically, all the killers are just regular humans. So Jason always comes back. I'm going to say Jason's going to win. He's unstoppable.
That's my thought as well, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, of course, we're talking about which Jason. If we're talking about remake Jason is possibly a real human. He's not a zombie.
True. Yep.
So maybe they would have a chance against remake Jason.
That's a good point.
They're faster. Well, actually, remake Jason is pretty fast. But if you get all of the Scream killers, that's more than 7.
Right.
And because, different each movie.
Right.
There's possibly 7 Scream killers in the new one. I have no idea.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not going to know for a long time.
Right.
But, yeah, I'm still going to go with Jason.
Yeah. Yeah. Right there with you, buddy.
Jason Voorhees, because he, like you said, he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
William, thank you so much for the questions. That's a lot of fun.
That is fun.
And if anybody out there wants to leave questions for us like that, fun questions, man, we would love to answer them. So
yeah,
go ahead, send us an email, funwithhorrorpodcast@gmail.com, or leave a comment on any of our Spotify episodes. Mm-hmm. Ask away. We'll answer them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. That's a good way to start a fun with horror episode, by doing some fun questions.
That's right. But now it's time for some ugly stepsistering.
1, 2, 3.
The Ugly Stepsister, or Den Styggeste Testosteron, was released on March 7th, 2025. It was directed by Emilie Blichfeldt, and it was also written by Emilie Blichfeldt. It stars Leah Myron as Elvira, or Elvira, Anne Dahl Torp as Rebecca, Thea Sophie Lockness as Agnes, Flo Fagerli as Alma, and Isaac Kalmroth as Prince Julian.
Everyone that listened to the last episode and to the very end of the episode and heard me struggling on just one name, I just want everyone to know Scotty did that in one take. One take. So there will not be a blooper reel on this one with Scotty messing up names. Had I done this movie, the blooper reel would have been about 37 minutes. So I just want you all to know that.
Well, Andrew, you may not know this, but you've thought that I was American this whole time, but I'm actually recording from Norway. I'm Norwegian.
What? I had a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I flew all the way from Norway to come see you at Christmas, Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. For anybody in Norway listening, I'm sorry for that horrible accent.
To be fair, though, I've mentioned this on the podcast. I'm like 50-something% Norwegian. So
Speak no evil.
we have an out. We're okay. And then the people in Norway are like, no, dude. All right, anywho, before we get into the major spoilers and before we do any of that stuff, people want to know real quick, what did you think of this movie, my friend? Without spoilers, what'd you think?
What did I think of this movie? Well, you know, this movie has been on the top or in top 10 lists from last year. It was a surprise because it wasn't released in theaters around here that I know of.
Yeah.
It came out on Shudder. And suddenly people were talking about this movie as one of the best of the year, which is crazy. You know, Shudder movies are typically entertaining and good, but not usually at the top of people's lists.
Yeah,
But this
correct.
one was. So I was very, very curious. This is another one of those movies that I appreciated more the second viewing. I liked it a lot the first viewing, and on the second viewing, I really liked it. I thought it was kind of brilliant. The way it's filmed is beautiful. The music is great, and the content is just crazy. So that's what I thought. What about you, buddy? What did you think of Den Stepsisters?
And I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Buddy, I loved this movie. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed this movie, so I'm excited to talk with you about it.
All right.
But that means, everybody, it is our spoiler warning, which will be followed immediately by trigger warnings. So if you have not seen this movie and you don't want a single thing spoiled for you, this right here, right now, is the point of no return. So feel free to pause this episode and then come back after you have watched the movie. But before we talk about the rest of the movie, we want to let you know of any major trigger warnings inspired by the website doesthedogdie.com, because nearly every horror movie inherently has triggers, but there are definitely some we want you to know about before watching a movie, and we are here to let you know about those now. So, my friend, are there any animals in this movie?
You know, there are some animals in this movie, and animals do die in this movie, but it's mostly off-screen. You hardly see it. I wouldn't say that this is very triggering for animal lovers. That's what I'm going to say. And as far as other triggers in this movie go, this is a body horror movie, so there you go.
Yeah.
If you're queasy with body horror and stuff, fluids and stuff like that, yeah, you may want to go to Does the Dog Die? Does the Dag Die?
Is it?
What was that? Wow.
Dag Nabbit?
Dag Nabbit, does the Dag Nabbit die.com.
Well, I know it link we're buying after this.
Well, with that, Andrew, I am going to take out my lucky orange 20-sided die. Virtual, by the way. It's not real. It's virtual. It's online. I'm going to start rolling it. And why don't you tell everybody what happens after I roll this?
Eventually, I'll say stop, and if it lands on an even number, Scotty will be giving you all a beautiful 3-minute recap. And if it lands on an odd number, I will give you a pretty ugly recap. So I'm going to tell him to He's shaking his head like a good friend would. I'm going to tell you to stop.
The number is 7. You get to do it, buddy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, I just went, oh, boy.
Wow. Wow, I am so aroused right now.
That wasn't
crazy.
so ugly, was it?
Let's jump in the bedroom, huh?
Easy.
Speaking of bedrooms, I got something for you. This is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
It could be wonderful. It's according to your point of view. There was a guy. He was going down my street selling food.
Nice.
So I went to his truck and I said, "Look, hey, mister." And he said, "Yes, you, young man, come forward to the truck." And I said, "Hi. Wow." I've got maladies and miracles for everything that you could want. Come forward, young man. And I said, "I'm not that young, but thank you." And he's like, "You look young and I could make you look younger." And I said, "No, it's not for me." I said, "Listen, I'm about to record a podcast episode. My best friend is probably going to have to do the 3-minute recap. There's a chance I might, but he's probably going to have to. I just know the way the dice go." And the guy's like, "Yes, I know the dice well. I could sell you a lucky die." I said, I've got one, but thank you." Anyway, I want to give him something very nice if he is able to complete the recap in under 3 minutes. So the man put on his top hat and he went in the back and he said, "I've got just the thing for you, young man. Look at this." And he pulls out a little white egg. He said, "If your boyo makes it in under 3 minutes," I said, "Boyo?" "Yeah, your boyo. Under 3 minutes, then I will make my way to his house. And while he's sleeping, I will insert this into his mouth and he'll swallow it. And then he will never gain weight again."
Wow.
You okay there, buddy?
Yeah, I love this. This is amazing.
Well, that's it. So,
wow. Hello, egg. Goodbye, dad bod. All right.
yeah. So if you come in under 3 minutes, you're going to get quite a boon from this guy that calls me Boyo.
You're pretty trusting, man. The last time I saw a guy with a top hat invited me into his van, and I said, "No, thank you," and I walked away immediately. So
That was a different episode.
oh yeah, that's right. He had black balloons.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Andrew, whenever you're ready, why don't you tell us all the story of the Ugly Stepsister? By memory, of course.
yeah, yes.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Well, my friend, once upon a time, there was a woman named Rebecca who had 2 daughters, Elvira and Alma. Now, Rebecca wanted to be rich, wanted money for her and her daughters, but mostly her. She was selfish. So she met and married a man named Otto, who had a daughter, Agnes. On the night of their marriage, Otto died at dinner with the whole family there. Elvira overheard or was talking with Agnes and realized they didn't have any money, kind of the reason Rebecca married Otto. He was broke, and so was Rebecca. This was bad news for them. During all this catastrophe, if you will, a man from the castle came to promote a dance, a ball, where the prince was going to be and where he would pick his bride-to-be. Now, of course, Agnes is crying and sad, the daughter of Otto, who's mourning her father's death. But Elvira is very excited because she may get to marry the prince. However, and this is according to the movie, not by any of our standards, Elvira is considered to be the quote-unquote ugly stepsister. So, Rebecca, wanting Elvira to marry the prince, decides with Elvira, but mostly Rebecca decides this, that she needs to go through different surgeries and different things in order to look, quote-unquote, prettier for the prince. I'm not going to say in this 3-minute recap the things that happened to her. This is a huge part of the movie that I will discuss with my best friend Scotty. So if you want to know what happens with this body horror, you gotta wait until after the 3-minute recap. But let's just say some things happen and it's gnarly. Anywho, during all of her changes, if you will, Agnes, it turns out, has been sleeping with the groundskeeper, if you will, at the place that she lives at. And Rebecca is furious and calls her many rude names and kicks the boy out and basically makes Agnes a Cinderella, if you will, even calls her Cinderella. Elvira is starting to change. It's been a few months. She gets a new dress. She gets all these things and eventually goes to the ball. During this time, Agnes is actually praying over her father's dead corpse, which hasn't been buried because they don't have enough money to do so, where she sees a vision of her dead mother and sees that she has this dress that's getting worked on by maggots and that she needs to go to the ball. She's given this premonition, if you will, to go to the ball as well. Elvira goes to the ball, throws up because of something we'll talk about later, gets pretty gnarly, but is admired by all the men there and especially the prince. She has a really good shot. However, Agnes shows up, takes his breath away. He falls for her. They dance, and she has kind of a hood on that falls up, and Elvira realizes it's Agnes and freaks out. Agnes runs, but of course leaves what? A shoe. Of course, like Cinderella, the prince decides to go and look for whose this shoe will fit. Elvira does something about that. Again, we will talk more about this later. But a lot happens to Elvira at the end, and she gets in a few different accidents, I guess you could say, and doesn't quite look like herself anymore. Eventually, a prince does find Agnes and takes her away to be his wife. And then Elvira and Alma, her sister, steal all the jewelry from Rebecca, who got a prince at the ball and is doing some stuff with them. They steal her jewelry to go and sell it and live on their own. And off into the woods they ride. And that is the end of The Ugly Stepsister, except for a scene at the end where we just see Otto's decaying corpse. And that's the end of the movie.
Andrew.
Yeah.
You came in just under 3 minutes.
Yes!
And I got to tell you, it was kind of weird because the man in the top hat was waiting outside my door. He was actually listening to you.
That checks out.
And I heard him, in the background, I heard him go, "Wow, the boyo actually included a spoiler warning in his spoiler retelling." Amazing. So you can expect your dad bod to go away and be thin forever.
Oh, hooray. Oh man.
But of course,
yeah.
But of course, that's not what life is about, Andrew.
That's true, man.
And that's what this movie tells us, isn't it?
It really is. This is a cautionary tale, if you will.
This is one I don't know what my quibbles would be. It's not a perfect 5 out of 5 movie, but I also am not sure what my quibbles are.
I'm with you. I absolutely agree with you because I don't have any quibbles written down. I don't, but I agree.
I think the reason I don't score it higher than I do is because, yes, I think it's a brilliant movie. I think it's an amazing retelling of the Cinderella story.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't see myself going back to watch it over and over again.
Right. I'm with you.
And it's not because of the body horror. A movie like The Substance, I could watch this afternoon. I love The Substance. This one, it's fun. It's good. But maybe it's a little bit dry at times.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
But otherwise, so we've been talking about, we've been talking about this egg that the man in the top hat's going to lay in you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I like that you left a lot out of your 3-minute recap. So that we could talk about it, all the body horror stuff.
Yep.
Man, what did you think of all that?
Gnarly. All of them were gross, but the egg in particular was disgusting. That was so gross, dude. That last moment, it was so gross.
When she showed the egg to her sister,
yeah,
and you could see the little tapeworm inside, like moving, I was just like, "Oh my god,
yeah,
wow, this
Yep.
movie's going to go there.
Yeah, I knew it was going to go places because I knew it was body horror. And right when I saw that, I was like, we're going to see that again. And it's not going to be pretty.
But yet, the great thing about this movie is that so much happens in the middle, even though we're reminded at all times
Yeah.
of this tapeworm in her stomach. And there's even a part where we realize that the tapeworm is laying eggs in her stomach. Oh my God.
Yeah, because she vomits up eggs. It's so gross.
Even with all that, I was not prepared for the tapeworm extraction scene at the end.
I wasn't expecting it to be that much. It just kept going. I'm right there with you, dude. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
'Cause you
Alma,
what?
well, I was gonna say for those listening, Alma, the sister, essentially pulls it out of Elvira, and it's the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going. You're like, oh my
It's a clown car.
gosh. It is, yeah, but it's gross. Like it looks like a worm. I mean, it looks like this pale white, disgusting long worm. It's so gross.
It looks like a tapeworm.
It does. Oh, it's gnarly.
Yeah. And then there's a moment where it gets stuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you're wondering what is about to happen because it's stuck now. Is it going to have to stay in Elvira in her stomach or what? And then suddenly it lets loose and the entire rest of this tapeworm just pours out of her mouth and it's just disgusting. And it's fantastic though.
It looked great. Like it's such a well done scene. It looks like someone is getting a tapeworm pulled out from them. It is disgusting. But it's really
oh my
well
God,
done.
dude. So the whole idea is that she's given this egg and then she's given an antidote. So when she's done, when she's gotten what she wants and she doesn't need the tapeworm inside her anymore, she takes this antidote and that's going to cure her. We don't know how. We don't know that this is what happens, but what it does is it forces the tapeworm to come out. So there's this moment after she takes it where she pukes this brown bile.
Yeah.
And then she's sitting there with her mouth open and she's like, and you see the tip of the tapeworm start to appear out of her mouth.
Oh my gosh.
And that is almost the worst part. And that's when Alma goes to grab it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is like the climactic body horror moment of
Yeah.
this movie, even though there's others that had me cringing.
Well, one of them. So I mean, we'll just jump into it.
Well, wait.
do you wanna wait?
I do want to say that during the tapeworm scene, during
Yeah.
that scene where it's being pulled out of her,
Yeah.
I was sitting on my couch by myself with my cats, with my mouth wide open. I was like, "Oh my God, wow!"
I thought you were gonna say you were eating spaghetti at the time or something. I was like, what a terrible choice. What a terrible
Oh
choice.
no, I knew not to eat during this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So what were you about to mention?
I was gonna do another body horror if we want to
Yeah.
jump into some of these. I'm kind of going backwards, I guess. So before this, she wants to fit in the glass slipper, if you will, in one of the shoes that was left behind.
Yeah.
And this, what's crazy though, is the grim tales were exactly that. They were grim. They were not happy. And in the original tale, this is what happens, which is
Answer me
I think-
this though: in the fairy
Mhm.
tale, was it her toes or was it her heel?
Oh, you might
didn't
be
they
right.
Slice
Yeah.
the heel
I think you're right. Yep, I do think you're right. I knew it was foot. I just couldn't remember.
because it was both stepsisters in the
Yes.
original tale.
Mhm.
So it might. I don't know the original tale. So if anybody wants to leave a comment and tell us, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was toes on one sister and the heel on another,
Right.
or if it was the heel on both of them. I know one of them at least had their heels sliced off.
Yep, I remember that too. So I'm with you on that.
Because the poster for this movie, or at least one of the posters, it's not a glass slipper in this movie,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it is a foot with, it almost looks like a ballet slipper on her foot with blood pooling in the toe region.
No.
So I knew right there, you know that this is going to follow the original fairy tale to an extent.
Right.
Go ahead and explain the scene, Andrew. What happens?
Well, at this point, she's she's already lost it a bit, but she's like to the extreme now. And so she takes a butcher knife and essentially, well, she cuts off her toes, but they don't quite cut all the way off. They're kind of hinged on by some skin.
Yeah, but the way she uses the butcher knife, she grabs a chair.
Oh, yeah.
And first of all, she kind of slices across her toes just to test the butcher knife.
Yep.
But then she puts the butcher knife on top of her toes, grabs a wooden board.
Yeah.
And she slams the board onto the butcher knife. And yeah, like Andrew said, it doesn't cut the toes all the way off.
Oh, it's bad. As she lifts her foot up too, you see the toes kind of like fling to the side, like dangle off. And you're just like, oh my gosh, it's so gross.
They knew what they were doing when they filmed this scene because there are close-ups. There are extreme close-ups of her dangling toes, of the insides of her toes.
Yep.
They're like, we are going to disgust the audience right now. And then the crazy thing is that she's lost it. Her mom comes in and sees what she's done. Her sister also comes in, Alma. And let's just say right now,
Yeah.
I feel like Alma is the only good, pure character in this entire movie.
For sure. Yes.
So Alma comes in and her mother's like, she gives Elvira this sleeping draft, whatever, to help her basically just knock her out so that she doesn't know what's happening. And then the worst thing possible happens. Her mother chops her toes off and she says she cut the wrong foot.
So
it's the other foot that they're going to have to slip into. So she goes to cut off Elvira's other toes.
Yep.
And the sister's like, no, mom, no. But her mom's nuts. Her mom will do anything to have Elvira marry the prince.
Yeah.
But here's the thing in this movie, buddy.
Yeah.
And I never really thought about this when I watched Disney's Cinderella. And when I think about this movie, I hate to even bring up Disney's Cinderella.
Right.
I feel like I'm tainting the cartoon.
Yeah, blasphemy, what you're doing. Yeah.
The thing I never thought about with Cinderella is the prince is going around trying to put a slipper on the right girl.
Right.
Wouldn't he just recognize her?
Well, in the original Cinderella, though, she had a spell on her, so she was unrecognizable because of the it's like Glinda the Good Witch, because of the fairy godmother. That's why she was like unrecognizable. So
right, but okay, so I got that, and in this one, she's got
like a veil
shawl or something, a veil. Thank you, a veil over her face.
Right.
But when it comes to everybody else, wouldn't the prince meet Elvira? Even if Elvira had not chopped off her toes and was looking like she had just had a tapeworm taken out of her stomach, which I don't believe has happened yet.
No, I don't. Yeah, I think you're right. Not yet.
But a lot of stuff has happened. Like she's already like fallen out of her bed and she knocked her teeth out. Yeah. So wouldn't he see her even if none of that had happened and she looked like she did the night before and go, oh, you're not her. You're the woman I danced with before.
Probably.
That's the thing. Like, even in the animated movie, the Disney Cinderella, I would think the prince would go to the Ugly Stepsisters and go, "You're not her."
Right. Yeah. You would.
And
think.
I'm sorry, I called them the Ugly Stepsisters, but
That's what they're called
title
in the
of
movie. That's what they're called. So yeah.
Well, actually, I think in the Disney they're called the Evil Stepsisters.
Oh, is that right?
I believe so, but I don't think they're called the Ugly Stepsisters.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. But I think we're just thinking of the title of this movie.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Anyway, the toes is great.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it hurts though. And like you said, those close-ups, they put some money into those fake toes because I've never seen someone get their toes cut off, but I imagine it would probably look exactly like that.
I think the beginning of the body horror is actually Otto. And I love that you got his name because I did not catch his name. I didn't look it up. I'm terrible.
No, it's the one name I could pronounce. So that was why I was like, I got this one.
But yeah, they They put Otto, after he dies, they put him in a room
Yeah.
where his daughter can visit him. But then when she asks the mother, what's the mother's name?
Rebecca.
Rebecca, thank you. When she asks Rebecca when they're going to have a funeral for her father, Rebecca's like, we can't afford it. And of course, Rebecca's spending all her money on plastic surgery for Elvira and stuff like that. So she just refuses to bury the father. So the father is just decaying in this room.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the beginning of the body horror. I think that happens before the nose job
I think, yeah.
scene.
Yeah, I think you're right. No.
Well, I believe we see some decay.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think you're right.
One of the two happens. So it's either Elvira going to the plastic surgeon and him knocking on her nose,
Yeah.
or it's Agnes going in and seeing that her father has flies all over him and is starting to decay.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Both are gross.
This is definitely the gross out movie of last year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I can't imagine any other movie being more disgusting than this one.
This was pretty tough. This was pretty gross. Yeah, this was one you don't want to eat food with, so.
But obviously, this movie, it has a very hit you over the head message,
Right.
which, much like The Substance, is about the lengths that women go to fit this ideal of who they think other people want them to be.
Right.
The lesson is, of course, that Elvira is not an unattractive girl.
No, exactly. Not at all.
She's an awkward girl. She's got braces,
Right. Oh, yeah.
and she's got silly little curls in her hair. I don't know what you call those.
I don't either. Yeah, there was a lot of those. Yeah, I don't know what they're called either, but there was a lot.
But she looks in the mirror and she sees an overweight girl.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite scenes, not because of the nudity.
I know, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Which one? Tell me.
Well, when she first looks, so she takes off her clothes, and I wonder if it was like a body double or something, because they never show her face.
It was.
Yeah, okay. But she's looking at herself naked in the mirror, and then they kind of cut to her face, and she looks solemn and kind of distraught and upset. And what's wild, like, if you see the body, you're like, that's overweight? Like, that's really? Like,
It's a curvy body,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful. She's beautiful.
yeah, that's the thing.
But this is not how her mother feels she needs to fit in. This is not how her, I don't know, etiquette teacher, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Her etiquette teacher feels like she needs to look to fit in and to win the attraction of this prince. And it's not what the prince wants.
Right.
The prince is a douchebag.
He really is. Yeah, that guy sucks.
Yeah, I mean, we see the scene where she's in the forest with her sister, and then she comes upon the prince and his two, the worst examples of male chauvinist, toxic masculinity
Yeah.
this entire movie has.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just doing guy talk, stupid guy talk. And so they're in the forest, and then she's catching a sight of the prince. And it's actually, to me, a really sad scene, too.
Oh, I agree.
Because she sees the prince, she sees him peeing, he takes down his pants, so she sees his bare butt. Then the two other guys see her, and they're telling the prince to have sex with her. And the prince says, I wouldn't F that.
Right.
You know, he calls Elvira that,
Mm-hmm.
or it, one of the two. But then she's still in love with him.
Yeah, I know.
And that's, to me, the sad part, is that some guy that would say that about her, she doesn't see as, like, I shouldn't waste my time with this because he's awful.
Right.
She sees, oh, I need to completely change myself to fit his ideal of a beautiful woman.
Right.
And then at the dance later, he sees her as what she finally wants him to see her as.
Mm-hmm.
And he's dancing with her, and his attention is just taken away immediately by Cinderella, by
Right.
Agnes.
Yeah.
And it's just,
It's heartbreaking.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking, and that's what women go through.
Ugh.
I mean, I've read a lot about how the director felt about this movie. I read an interview with Leah Myron, who plays Elvira,
Mm-hmm.
and what she took away from the movie. And I'm sure you noticed this, but one of the other things that you notice in the movie is that her self-confidence and her self-esteem grows smaller the more she changes herself to fit these ideals.
Yeah, that's very true.
They take her over to such an extent that she is left even worse off at the end than she feels she was at the beginning.
Right, exactly. Ugh. It's awful, man. It's awful.
But in the end, did you feel any kind of hopeful feeling?
I did, because I feel like at that point, she kind of almost came to terms with who she was. Even though, I mean, she's had these awful things happen now as well, getting her feet essentially cut off and having eyelashes literally sewn into her eyelids. I mean, she's had, another scene. But she's accepted it. I felt like, at least that's how it felt to me, was she's accepted who she is and is kind of almost happier for it. Happier than she was at the beginning even though she's had these horrible things happen to her. She's grown so much. At least that's kind of how I interpreted it.
I don't know if she's happy.
Maybe that's not the right term, but maybe more accepting.
Yeah, I think she's reached a point. I mean, she's kind of hit rock bottom.
Yeah. Yep.
And she's got the one person with her who actually cares about her, which is Alma.
Right.
And they're escaping.
Yeah.
That was the other sad scene. When Alma comes into their mother's room, so their mother was trying to pawn off this young, I don't know what he was, this young suitor onto Elvira when the prince's attentions were taken away from Elvira.
Mm-hmm.
But then the mom ends up going home and taking this young guy into her bedroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's in bed with the guy. She is about to go down on him.
Yep.
The sister walks in and she's taking, I forget what she's taking. She's taking
jewelry. There's some jewelry. Yeah.
Yeah, for money.
Mm-hmm.
And the mom sees what's happening, but she's so obsessed with becoming part of this society that she just kind of ignores it and goes back to what she's doing to the young guy.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a bad mom. That's all there is to it. She's a bad mom. She's not a good person. Yeah.
She's horrible.
Yeah.
She's horrible. The prince is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the two etiquette teachers. I'm not sure exactly what they are.
Yeah, yeah.
One seems to be some kind of headmistress, and she's obsessed and almost aroused by the idea of Elvira going through this transformation.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good way to say it. Yes, very much so.
And then the etiquette teacher is just like, she immediately dismisses Elvira at the beginning when Elvira's got the thing on her nose.
Mm-hmm.
She puts her in the very back of the rows. Elvira gets into this class because her mom pays the teacher to keep her in.
Mm-hmm.
And then as Elvira changes, the teacher starts to accept her and then actually puts Elvira in the main three dancers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the thing is, Elvira does have talents. It's another sad thing.
Yep.
She's a very talented girl. She knows what she's doing. She looks more graceful than many of the girls there.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I know she was a great dancer. I was like, she's killing it. Way to go. That scene was obviously impactful, but I hated it because she's doing so good and you can see that she's happy. She's like, this is kind of after her nose, but that scene where she goes, "What are you doing up front?" Like, essentially, the instructor says that. Says, "Go back." And you can just see she's such a good actress, and we'll talk more about this. But the heartbreak that hits her at that moment, and then she goes, keep going back. And she just keeps pushing her back in these lines until she's in the very last line. And I just was like, oh, this is heartbreaking. Because she played it so well. You could just see her excitement crushed. And you feel so sorry for her. Ugh.
And her dignity.
Yeah. Just everything. I mean, it's awful. Ugh.
And that's what they do. They tear her down completely, and then they build her back up in such an artificial way.
Right.
So, and then, of course, you have Agnes, Cinderella.
Yeah.
And this was the most interesting character in a way for me, because at the beginning she's not horrible, but she's also very self-absorbed. She knows she's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But then she's pushed into this situation where her dad is dead and the evil stepmom only cares for her daughters,
Mm-hmm.
and not really for her daughters, but
What they can get
cares
her.
for herself. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where she thinks they need to be in life. And she pushes Agnes down into just becoming a housekeeper,
Right.
doing the chores.
Right.
And especially when Agnes is caught having sex with, what is he? The stable boy, I guess?
Yeah, that would be it. Yep, stable boy.
I think his name is Isaac in the movie,
Yeah.
which was a very interesting scene.
Yeah. I was like, that's a lot to show.
Yeah. There's a lot to show. There's no extreme penetration during sex, but you do see body parts.
Yeah. Yep, you definitely see body parts.
And I think it took me a little bit to think about that, and we're going to get graphic here. Sorry. We're going to keep it as wholesome as possible. Yeah. Because the prince wanted a virgin.
Right. Yes, that's right.
Which is the other disturbing thing. He just wanted
I
young
know.
girls.
It's all creepy, dude. It's all creepy.
It's terrible. But I believe that they were not having actual, intercourse. I think they were having anal sex.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that she would stay a virgin.
Quote unquote. Okay.
But it was never said. It's never said outright. I could be wrong.
Right.
Because I was like, how's she going to get around that whole thing?
Which, again, and then there's it's not a happy ending with this movie. Like, Elvira we might see a little hope, as we already talked about. But Agnes, who ends up with the prince, is going to be in this loveless marriage for the rest of her life as well. There's just nothing. She loved Isaac. She and Isaac were a couple, and then Isaac gets chased off. Agnes is now in a loveless marriage with a D-bag forever. I mean, honestly, it's not you're not going to sit there and go, wow, I feel better. What a good uplifter this was.
What I do love, though, is that if you take away certain bookends to the Cinderella story, if you just look at the Cinderella portion of the story, you can actually see the fairy tale in there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you ignore what Elvira has seen of Prince Julian, you ignore what his two lackeys are saying throughout the whole movie.
Right.
And you just kind of focus on Agnes's story.
Mm-hmm.
You see that Cinderella story in there, where she is this poor girl who's been pushed down by her evil stepmother, who has these silkworms make her dress better after, they kind of repair her dress for her. There is magic in this movie, which is crazy.
There is. That's true.
The fairy godmother is actually her mother.
Right.
And then you do see that when Elvira gets back to the house, there's a pumpkin in the driveway. So her carriage actually turned into a pumpkin.
And even her mom tells her that. Be back by midnight, it'll turn back into a pumpkin. So and I mean, you do see the maggots making a dress.
Well, I don't think those were maggots. I think those were silkworms.
Oh, duh. Of course they were.
There were maggots and silkworms.
That makes sense. What an idiot.
Again, I could be wrong, but this is how I interpreted it.
That makes sense. Of course they are. Oh my gosh.
But also, there's a part where Agnes is holding a mouse or a rat.
Yes, yeah.
And it's like Gus Gus.
It is. I thought that too. I was like, oh, Gus Gus.
Did you notice at the beginning? Well, you wouldn't have noticed because you only watched this once, right?
I did, yes.
One of my favorite things on the rewatch was when you watch the opening credits, the camera is panning to the right, and you're seeing all this stuff on a table.
Yes, yeah.
You're seeing the entire movie, components for the entire movie on this table. Yeah. I did notice the first time I saw the movie that there was what looked like a toe in that shot, at the end of the shot. You definitely see the invitation that the prince sends out. You see medical tools. You see silkworms. You see a fish which
Yeah.
is like when she's eating the lemon water
Yep.
and her sister's eating a fish. You see a hairbrush with a clump of hair in it. You see spaghetti.
Ugh.
And then you see the shoes, and there's a tapeworm at the end, a big tapeworm. And you see the cleaver. And that's not even everything. There's other little items in there, but it's really cool on a rewatch to watch the opening credits and to see all the components of the movie laid out in front of you.
That's cool. That's really cool.
What'd you think of the music?
That was actually my first note on this movie was I really like the music. It hit me on this one. I was like, this is great, man. I'm into this. So like the opening song, I think, was what hit me. I was like, oh, this is good.
Unfortunately, there's not a full soundtrack to this. There's like a 3-song EP on Apple Music or whatever. And it's the more upbeat synth music.
Okay.
Because there was 2 composers. There was Vilde Tuve, who was the person that did the synth-like score. I'm sure they did the dance music at the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Johnny Eric Kada, who actually I was already familiar with. Kada is an instrumental artist that does like kind of experimental type music.
Oh, okay.
And he's done music with Mike Patton before, which is where I know him from. But I think his was the less flamboyant music, basically.
Okay.
But you know what this reminded me of? I don't know if you ever saw it, but back in my youth, there was this fairy tale series called Fairy Tale Theater, I think it was called, with Shelley Duvall and stuff.
Yeah. Yep. I know of it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like these live action retellings of certain fairy tales. I don't think it was adult. I think it was, for any age.
Yeah.
I don't know what the music was back then. I can only imagine it sounded somewhat 80s.
I would think so.
But that's what this movie gave me the feel of.
Nice. That's awesome.
So I think we've said most of everything we set out to say about the movie, but there's some little things. We didn't really talk about the eyelash surgery.
Yeah, buddy. Oof.
I think for me, that was probably the hardest scene to watch.
I thought that might be the worst one for you, just with how you are with needles and stuff. Yeah.
One thing I did I like how his pain relief, quote unquote, was just simply cocaine.
Yeah.
It's made from the coca plant. And I was like, what? And then he sniffs it. I'm like, oh my God, it's just cocaine.
Yeah.
He's putting cocaine in her eyes.
Yeah. And I love that he does it too right before he does surgery. Like, oh no, this guy.
Well, that's it. At the same time, in those times, the 1700s, I think this movie takes place.
Mm-hmm.
I could see cocaine being used like that. Like,
that's
they
true.
use it as pain relief. They don't have real anesthetic, so they use something like that, and then the doctor just sniffs it himself to make himself high.
I mean, they used it in Coca-Cola for the original Coca-Cola, so I get that. People were like, it's just cocaine.
That's why I don't drink Coca-Cola anymore. They ruined it. They made it woke. Woke Coke.
Oh my gosh.
The spaghetti in the bathtub scene, you've never seen the movie Gummo, have you?
No, I haven't, but I know of it.
So there is a scene in the movie Gummo where the kid is being served spaghetti and chocolate while he's in a very dirty-looking bathtub.
Uh-huh.
And it kind of makes me wonder if the choice of having Elvira eating spaghetti in the bathtub was somewhat of an homage to Gummo.
Interesting.
But I don't know, because it reminded me of Gummo. But this one, I don't know. In my opinion, the hair made it almost a little bit more stomach-turning.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty disgusting in Gummo because he's eating chocolate. The water's just dirty. Ugh. You need to see it. No, you don't. You don't need to see it.
Oh.
I don't know if you need to see it.
Okay.
It's not a horror movie. It's somewhat of a horror movie.
Okay.
I've talked about Gummo in our Patreon. So everybody, if you're not subscribed to our Patreon, guess what? $2 a month, and you can hear me talk about Gummo in one of my monthly episodes.
And just think about it. That's 8 quarters It's like, psh, 8 quarters, that's nothing. The other surgery scene that we also didn't really talk about, I mean, we briefly touched on it. Yeah, is the nose. I will say this, seeing, and we'll say what happens, but hearing her scream right after is one of the more horrifying screams I've heard in a movie. It sounded very realistic and very scary. She did a great job with that scream where I went, oh, that really did hurt her. I mean, it really, she did a great job.
Absolutely.
Oh, but that nose.
That nose. Yeah, that was a really cringeworthy scene because when they're at the doctor, you're not sure exactly what's about to happen, but
Right.
Alma looks over and she sees the operating chair and the assistant is cleaning up a puddle of blood on the floor.
Like a lot of blood.
I don't think that's from a nose job, but
Yeah.
the doctor mentions that he also enhances the breasts. So you can imagine what a boob job at that doctor is like.
My gosh.
So anyway, and the other sad part, the other note I have that just made me sad was Elvira at the ball. She's artificially beautiful, you know. She's made to look the way she is.
Mm-hmm.
But when her mother gets her ready to go out, her mother tells her to put her hands up. And then as she's going around being introduced to the men, she's acting like a puppy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was one of the more disturbing moments in the movie for me for some reason.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm wincing because I was like, I hated that. I hated it.
Yeah, it was like she was degrading herself so much for these stupid men.
And they were eating it like they loved it. And I was like, this
Yeah.
is all like, I don't like this.
That whole ball scene was so well done.
It really was.
Down to the fact that they were put into budding flower costumes.
Yeah.
Like flowers that were ready to bloom.
Yep.
Which obviously signifies virginity and stuff. And oh, God, this movie's disturbing.
It is. And it shows how disgusting people can be, truly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just evil. Just evil. And gross.
So on that beautiful note,
Yeah.
I think we've touched on everything. Are you ready for 3 questions?
Woof, buddy. Let's do it.
Who would cross the bridge of death must answer me these questions 3.
Question number 1, my friend. What is the best death/kill in The Ugly Stepsister?
There's only one, my friend.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's Otto.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that for a while when I wrote my notes, I put none because I forgot about Otto.
Yeah.
But what a death. I said that it was him or the nose job that were the start of the body horror, but really the first hint that this movie was going to be a gross out movie was when he's dying and he's having a heart attack or something and he looks over at Rebecca and spits blood on her face.
Yes. Yep.
And I was like, oh, this is this movie. Okay.
The domino has been hit. Here we go.
And then obviously his whole decaying throughout the entire movie and how disgusting it must have smelled in that room.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know. I was like, how is she not vomiting? It's disgusting. I would agree with you. Yeah. I'm going to go with Otto on that one.
I figured.
Yeah.
And
I do wonder if she poisoned him. That was my thought, was like, did Rebecca poison him? I don't know. Anywho, question number 2. Was this movie scary?
I don't think it's scary.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're queasy when it comes to body horror, it will affect you greatly.
Yeah.
I think it's a heartbreaking movie. I think it's very sad. And especially if you look at pictures of the actress who plays Elvira, Leah Myron,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
you know, she is a beautiful girl.
Yeah, she's so pretty. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I love the courage that she had to play this part
Mm-hmm.
because it's a difficult role to play, but it's very meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes me sad. You know, it makes me sad the lengths that society thinks people should go to. And I'm going to go off on a tangent here, buddy.
Please.
There's been an example the last couple days as we're recording this. We're recording this on February 28th, the last day of February.
That's right.
And there's been some talk in social media about Jim Carrey, of all people.
Oh, I have not seen any of this.
Jim Carrey was just at an awards thing. He accepted an honorary award. I'm not exactly sure what it is because I haven't looked too much into it. But mostly it's been talk about how he looks different from how he looked a few months ago or not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, who cares? If he wants to do certain kinds of plastic surgery to make himself feel better, leave him alone, because it's the fact that you people are having this conversation on social media about somebody who's made people laugh.
Right.
Like, that's his life, has been making people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's because of this kind of conversation that he felt the need to fit this ideal, to do plastic surgery. So we see examples of what this movie tells us every day.
Oh my
in
gosh.
life.
You're right. Yeah.
And it always makes me sad. And because of this movie, it almost makes me more sad. So this movie is incredibly heartbreaking.
I completely agree with you 100% on all of that.
Did you think this movie was scary?
No, I didn't. Like you said, it's there's gross moments, but really it's one that makes you think and makes you, it makes you sad, you know? No one should have to ever feel less than who they are. I'll say that.
Yes.
Question number 3. Did you have fun with horror?
So yes and no. I think the message that this movie imparts kind of hits you after the movie's over.
Mm-hmm.
That heartbreaking feeling that the movie left me with, of course, it's not fun.
Right.
However, the movie is told in such a way that there are lots of fun body horror scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that to an extent, this movie can be fun to watch.
Right.
It's when you explore the deeper meanings and the deeper messages of this movie that it's not fun. You know, that's not the fun part of it. But you know that when they envisioned the tapeworm extraction scene,
Right.
you knew that they were having fun with it. They were saying, let's go as far as we can with this.
Oh, for sure.
We're going to have a message, but we're going to have audiences squirming and screaming when she cuts off her toes and they don't cut all the way off.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
They do have fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes and no. What about you?
I did. Yeah, I mean, same thing. Like, I had fun with those moments, but and then it does. It makes you think. This is a movie that makes you think or question things, or I mean, it's a thinker for sure. But those moments, some of those moments were pretty fun. So yes and no. I'm with you.
There you go. I gave it 4 out of 5 tapeworms.
I actually gave it 4 out of 5 tapeworm eggs.
Good one.
Thank you.
Den kommer ut.
Well, that was actually a deeper conversation than even I expected
Yeah, man, for sure.
about this movie.
Yeah.
It makes me love our 3 questions even more.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we talked about this stuff before, but I didn't expect to get so heavy and so deep when you started the 3 questions.
Mm-hmm.
But there we are.
We're here, man.
But that leads us to the next phase of our podcast, Andrew.
Yeah.
You get to pick our next movie.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm going to remind people, back at the end of Predator Badlands, I don't know if he said this on the episode. He may have said this afterwards. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But Andrew told me that he knew what movie he was going to pick next. There was a possibility it might change, but he said he knew what movie it was going to be. So, Andrew, is it still that movie, or did you change your mind, and is it a different movie than you had originally chosen?
So I did change it.
Wow!
I did. Yeah, I did. For various reasons. I'll just say that. So yes, I changed it.
I think I know what you're going to pick. Go for it.
I don't know if you do.
Then I don't. I don't at all. The fact that you just said that, I have no idea what you're going to pick.
I know what
Go
you
for
thought
it.
I was going to pick.
Okay, Andrew just paused me because he wasn't sure. He's uncertain. I've never seen my boy so uncertain about what movie he's picking. So you've said that you did go to your original pick. Here's the thing. Nobody knows what your original pick was. So it doesn't even matter if you went back to your original pick or whatnot. You're picking the movie. So what movie are we watching next, Andrew?
All right,
This
my
is
friend.
so confusing.
I know. Okay, here we go, everybody. The next movie we're watching is 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple.
Yeah, boy.
There you go.
The great thing is that I already bought it. So I
Oh,
already own it.
wonderful. Look at that. Okay. Well, great.
All right. So for full transparency, everybody, when Andrew and I need to figure out what we're about to say on the podcast, sometimes one of us goes pause.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talk, and that's usually taken off of the recording. I edit out everything that's said between pause and unpause. So Andrew paused. As I have said in my recent Patreon episode, but other people may not know, at the beginning of February, mid-February, I was laid off because my workplace was running out of jobs. They were running out of work. So there wasn't enough work. So I've been laid off. So I've been out of work. Who knows? Maybe I'm working by the time this episode airs.
Yeah, man.
We don't know. But Andrew, being the sweet boy that he is, the sweet 21-year-old hunk of chocolate that he is,
Oh, thank you.
was worried about me buying a movie that I didn't own already and spending money that I shouldn't spend. Little did he know, I've already bought it. I already own it because I love this movie. So we're doing 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple.
All right, there we go. Well, you know me. I want everything to be great for you, buddy. That's all. That's all I want.
Well, you know what I want to be great?
What?
Our listeners.
Hey!
So before we go, we've got some comments that people have left on Spotify.
Yes.
So, Andrew, we both have them open. Why don't you start us off?
Perfect. So this first comment is from Sophie Sparer.
Our good friend, Sophie Sparer.
Our good friend, Sophie Sparer. Hi again, Sophie. And it's from our Frankenstein episode. This is funny. And it just says, boy, that Andrew.
And once again, we're reminded of things that we ask our listeners to say at the end of an episode to prove that they listened to the whole episode. And when somebody leaves that, I'm like, what does this mean?
Right.
But there you go.
I love it. Thank you, Sophie. That's great.
Thank you, Sophie. Next up, we have a comment on our rec episode, record rec.
Yeah.
Remember that one, buddy?
Oh, boy, do I.
So it's our new friend, Audrey, who seems to be going through all of our episodes
I love it. Thank you, Audrey. That's awesome.
because she or they continues to leave comments after listening to certain episodes. So this one is on rec, and Audrey says, "This is my fave found footage film. Viral demonic possession, sign me up. It definitely has a claustrophobic feel. There's plenty of room, but no space. I don't know how to describe it, just that even the shaky cam makes you feel like prey slowly being cornered, and I love it. Also, sub before dub, so I've not had the misfortune to hear the English version. That said, watching a pre-2015 movie in dub is a creative use of free will. Best death is the moms while trapped or the free faller."
Oh, yeah.
So, of course, what Sophie is talking about with the sub versus dub is when Andrew and I watched and discussed Rec, we could only find the English dub. That's all we had access to.
It's all that was available. It was crazy.
And it hurt our viewing of the movie because the English dub is terrible.
It's really bad. It's really bad. That was the first time, I think, as like halfway through our recording, you paused me. Or maybe it was, I don't know, sometime right then, though, and you said, like, should we do a different movie? And I was like, no. Like, let's do this. We did it. We should talk about it. But I remember it because it was just, we just were like, this is so bad. And it's not the movie, it's the dub. The dub just ruined it.
Yeah, I think I texted you like
Is that what it
before
was?
we recorded.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
It was just something. I just remember you being
It was
like,
a long time ago.
I know. Yeah.
I was like back before So, yeah, go ahead. Next.
The next
This
comment is about the Ouija episode movie.
Wait.
Oh,
Say the whole title.
Ouija.
Origin of Evil.
Thank you. Ouija, Origin of Evil. And this is also from our dear friend Audrey. Thank you, Audrey. It says, I'll give them credit not knowing it was a graveyard. Who expects body in the wall, but they deserve it otherwise. The movie is leagues better than Ouija, but it definitely tried to include and elevate the original. Knowing horror movies, the board was a doorway and would have worked if the entity hadn't already anchored itself in Doris. Nice.
Yes.
That's a great comment.
Mike Flanagan film, and I remember back when we did Ouija Origin of Evil.
That's right.
I remember going to work that night and not being too busy and watching the original Ouija. And now I sound like I'm saying Luigi. Luigi. Hey. Okay, our next comment is from our friend Sheoxis. Remember Sheoxis?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Sheoxis.
Now, Sheoxis commented on our recent Shelby Oaks episode.
Yeah.
And Sheoxis, or CJ,
That's right.
says, I laughed out loud at Andrew's comment about keeping the practical effects and not replacing them with CGI because I was literally thinking of the Star Wars stuff when Scotty said he remastered some old episodes.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, CJ. Yes.
CJ got it. I did not.
Oh, man. CJ, you're awesome. Thank you for understanding that joke. I appreciate it.
But then he added a little something. He said, also, you got the pronunciation of my username right. Few people do, so good job. Haha. But you can call me CJ.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I might call you CJ. I might call you Sheoxis because I think Sheoxis is pretty freaking cool.
It is a cool name. I'm right there with you.
All right. Next, Andrew.
Next, we have our dear friend Audrey talking about our Slither episode.
Ooh.
All right. It says, that deer attack and Grant mumbling meat are my favorite parts. This movie starts to get serious or gross, then immediately throws in stupidity to distract you. I love it.
I completely agree.
I'm right there with you, Audrey. 100%.
Our next comment is by our good friend Sophie Sparrow again.
Hi, Sophie.
Sophie commented on our weapons episode.
Oh.
And she simply put 3 tearful smiley faces. I'm assuming maybe we read a comment from her on that episode. Otherwise, I don't know why the teary smiles. But I'm thinking it's because we finally read one of her comments on the podcast and she heard it. So she heard Sophie Sparrow.
I love it. Yeah, that would be my guess unless we said something about emojis, but I gotta listen again.
And that was back in our weapons episode. And by this time, Sophie's an old friend.
Yeah, go way back.
She's been a friend for a while.
Yeah, man.
Andrew, we have one more comment. Would you please read it?
Our last comment is regarding the movie Never Let Go, and it's written by Emilie. It says, hello, guys. I started following your podcast since I listened to this episode. So fun to find this podcast. Keep the fun flowing, guys. That's very sweet. Thank you, Emilie.
Yes, we have a new friend.
Woohoo!
We love our new friends.
We do.
Emilie, we hope you never let go of fun with horror.
Emilie, I would like to apologize for my co-host, Scotty.
I'm full of bad jokes today.
I know. I thought that was my job. Come on, man.
If you guys are still listening, listen to the very end of this episode after the music, and you might hear some bad stuff by me as well.
If you keep that in.
If I keep it in. Otherwise, you're just going to hear some weird sound effects. Who knows?
There you go.
Who knows? But listen to the end of the music at every episode because we're like Marvel movies. Always stay to the end of the credits.
Yes, there's always something.
But Andrew,
Scotty,
that brings us to the end of this ugly episode talking about the ugly stepsister.
Yes.
And as we know, it's not actually ugly.
That's right.
It's beautiful.
Agreed.
But, we try to fit into the ideals that everybody wants us to fit into as a podcast.
That's right.
We change things. We ruin the entire episodes and podcasts just to fit into some crazy ideals.
We try to.
Man, that's depressing.
That is.
Anyway, I love you, buddy.
I love you too, man.
Well, I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know.
That's terrible. So, hey, I'm just going to say I love your nipples.
Oh, thanks. And I yours.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
And everybody out there, thank you so much for listening to Fun with Horror.
Yes, thank you so much. We love all of you. All of you.
You make Andrew's nipples sensitive when you listen, and that's the best his nipples have ever been.
Why do we get on my nipples? What is this?
Why should we get off your nipples?
Touche.
Andrew, I love you and your nipples.
Scotty, I love you and your nipples.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Nipples. Okay, but here's the thing.
Well, see you later. Goodbye. I forgive you. I love you.
Just in case I put this anywhere, this is I'm holding up an action figure of the Thing movie poster. So Andrew just left.
Okay.
Anyway, what are you saying?
So right now, I bought a movie, and if you, I don't know how to do this.
You picked a movie.
Well, here's the thing. You're not, you son of a bitch.